Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome back to the Honda DreamLab Twitch channel, where dreams are imagined. I am Action Jaxon, your host for The Power Of. It's a series where myself and a guest go in depth on some of the forces that are shaping popular culture today on the power of dance. We're gonna take a deep dive into, you guessed it, dance. Would have thought that at the very end there. Please join me, hello everyone, in welcoming Bailey Sock. Bailey!
Hello! What's up?
Hello! Hanging out! How you doing?
Same here, hanging out, having a great morning. All good things. I'm happy to be here.
Fantastic, you love to see it.
Guys. Yes, always.
Awesome. Well, Bailey, we want to get to know you obviously a little bit better. Would you mind giving us just a brief history of your background in dance?
Because I'm the youngest of two older sisters, I was always just kind of there, just kind of following whatever they did. So they started dancing and I was just kind of a baby crawling around the studio. So my parents just threw me in a class because I was already there, basically. Apparently third kid was free too. Kind of made sense that I would go in.
Nothing like a deal. That's great.
We would drive around in our little Honda, our little white van.
What?
Named Rhonda.
You drove in a Honda?
Yeah.
What?
This is so crazy.
What are the chances? What?
It's insane to be right now.
Did you know that this was a Honda thing? Did they tell you?
Yeah. They did tell me, and I could not believe it. But
What?
yeah,
That's crazy.
always that one car was always a routine. Spending so much time in
amazing.
I love Rhonda the Honda. Honestly, like such a big part of my childhood.
You made that up just now. There's no way.
No, it's always been Rhonda. She's been there for me since day one.
Are there any performances that you did back in the early days that stand out to you? Anything that you could remember that was like, oh, that was a lot of fun, or that's kind of when I started to love dance, or anything like that?
I don't really remember because I was so young, but I remember my mom had told me that like the first time I got on stage, like one of my like home studio recitals, she said I like just came off stage and was, I want to do this, like whatever feeling that was. I don't think I fully understand it. Maybe that's why I don't really remember it, but that was definitely like just a natural, just felt drawn to it. I
believe we have, we have some footage of this. I would love to see that. We get that up?
Oh God. Oh no.
Please.
The head is gonna fly off.
Is that
the combat boots?
They were those combat boots with the.
It's all I wore. I'm not even over exaggerating. The only thing I wore were combat boots.
Yeah. So good. Why are you by yourself as everyone else? What happened?
I think that was definitely in LA, and that was one of
that was in LA.
That in that exact time frame that I was trying my best to gain control of my head, because obviously that didn't happen. But yeah, I think I got called out to do like a solo or something. Why? I don't know, but it was.
Oh snap! So you get challenged like in Stomp the Yard? They were like, you Bailey out in the middle of the floor. Now, who were some of the artists that influenced you the most, the people that you admired at the time, other than yourself, of course?
There's so many. I think something that my parents like engraved in me as a child was just like, you can learn anything from anybody, like good or bad, literally. So like, luckily I'm super privileged to have supportive parents and who really like led me through everything. So definitely anchored me down and kept me grounded throughout the whole process. But I don't know, because I always thought that way, I have a couple mentors that like I just always try to soak everything up for because they're so inspiring. But so many different people, like I danced with Matt Stefanina a lot growing up, and Melvin Tim, S-Rank, a lot of the Kinjas, Anthony, Mike, all of them. And so I'm just very fortunate to have these people in my life, just kind of guiding me through everything.
That's awesome. Very cool. Do you feel like TikTok and Instagram do a good enough job of portraying the art form? Do you feel like it can be condensed into like 10-second clips? Or do you feel like you need the more studio style, let's dance for a whole song, because I choreography for this whole song?
Yeah, I think it's so hard because dance is such a large topic and there's so much like culturally, historically, like all these things that can't possibly be fit into like a short 15-second 9 by 16 frame. But
Yep.
it's yeah, there's so many elements to it, but I think for us it's just creating like understanding what we're creating for, or for me, I guess specifically, if it's like a TikTok, understanding that kind of how that format works or anything. But if it's a whole performance, knowing
Yes.
that those are two very different, processes and different arts and formats and everything. Like the same way that dancing for an artist is completely different than dancing by yourself. Like those are very different techniques. That just kind of using those and respecting them as different entities. But yeah, it's definitely
No, I love that.
everything's also new too. Like it's so great that everybody's dancing, and it's so cool to just always see just normal people who aren't necessarily trained to be dancers.
Yes.
But yeah, it's such a heavy world with so much in it. So just trying to appreciate and respect all of that for sure. Oh shoot.
Oh my gosh. Look,
It's a little bit older
that's
now.
so tough. The lights. Oh, the zoom out.
Zoom out. This one was
Oh
really
my-
fun.
Oh my. What?
Yeah, we
What's
did
okay?
this-
So what style is this?
I guess definitely more of like an aggressive hip hop style than the video from before.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, we did everything in one day, or like in a couple hours. Because I remember I taught the choreo to them, and then we shot it right after in the same studio. But that one's definitely
Oh my
a
god.
fun one.
I love that. That one's fantastic. Who are the types of people that you see leading the way into the future? We're talking about the future of dance, where that's going. Who are the people that are kind of at the forefront that you see kind of blowing up or doing really well?
Yeah, it's like so hard to pinpoint a specific person.
Yes.
I
Or
don't
even
know.
just a
I think
dance
it's-
style, for instance.
I think there's a lot of light feet that's been circulating over the past couple years, which is like
Okay.
a new style, a newer hip hop style. And it's like really cool to just see that coming up everywhere. I think trends are always coming up, whether it's like a specific dance moves. There's a lot of like Memphis happening right now, a lot of light feet. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's also really cool to see just professional choreographers and professional dancers in general just like hopping on more content creation, just to see how like I don't know, there's movement quality is just so good. So it's always cool to just see all sides of dance and everything just kind of coming together.
Let's play the last video that we have. I think we have one more vid, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see what we got on the last vid. Oh,
Scary.
oh snap.
Jump scare.
Wow,
the
jump
drop.
scare.
Oh,
my.
dramatic.
Oh, dramatic. Oh my goodness.
All the drop. Sick of this mask.
This is this is obviously to Bop, right? This is the song that's playing in the background. I know we can't hear it right now.
Yeah,
is
exactly.
Hanson, Bop, yeah. Oh snap. So what
100%.
style is this?
Whatever you want it to be. I mean,
Okay, it doesn't have like, I'm used to like tutting and things like this that I just heard from dance shows.
yeah,
But it's whatever you want.
yeah,
An artist that you work with that you thought was a super fun time. Not the best, but just an artist that was fun.
yeah. I would have to say Janet Jackson. Just
Snap,
it was like
Janet.
one of my. It was one of my first performances like that, and obviously it's like Janet Jackson. But I did one of her
Jackson.
Yeah, I did one of her Rhythm Nation stops, and I'd actually competed to Rhythm Nation when I was younger, just like at my home studio. And so just competing with that song, cut to like a couple years later of like being on stage with her, just open to this crowd. It was just unforgettable, so surreal.
My God. That's freaking amazing. That's super cool. Yes, Janet, flame emoji. What do you hope to accomplish through dance? What's kind of, is it just the sake of dancing? Is that the goal, or what are you kind of hoping to bring out of this?
My experience so far has just been dance just kind of consuming my whole life, which is
Yeah.
like I kind of touched on earlier of it just being so many different things for me. And I
Yes.
just like hope it continues to be that way. I still want to express and dive into different creative elements of dance and where that can take me. But then
Hmm.
also just kind of like exploring my own style, my own feelings, you know, whether that's just like freestyling and expressing myself and still keeping that part of me alive is definitely something I
Yes.
plan to always ground myself to keep doing and keep myself in check in those ways. So,
What is your piece of advice? What's the number one thing that they need to know if they want to get into a dance career?
um, oh, it might sound really harsh, but I would honestly just say
Oh.
nobody cares. You know,
Oh, snap. Damn, did not
like
see
that's
that
something.
coming. Jeez.
That's just the perspective I have to put things into.
Yeah.
Just because, you know, you can, especially something as vulnerable as dance can get, if you're busy
Yeah.
thinking about like, oh, I don't know what this person's gonna think. I don't want to, you know, I'm scared to really jump outside of my box. For me, it was like,
Yeah.
you know, nobody cares. Like, if I do it or if I don't do it, nobody cares regardless. So just kind of had to put myself up there and just,
Yeah.
you know, see what happens.
Everyone, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Can we get some like little hand claps in the chat, please, for Bailey, for being here with us today? Thank you, Bailey, so much for being a part of it as well. We really appreciate it, you being here.
Thank you. I had a great
Absolutely.
time. Thank you for having me.